up? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to learn how to eat again post-competition. So if you're new here, my name is Shanae. I'm a WBFF Bikini Pro, and my passion is helping women not only get to the stage, but also how to normalize our lives after. So I just don't feel like there's enough information out about that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe. In the comments, let me know what you learned. And if you'd like to join my private Facebook group where we're taking these topics and we're talking about them deeper and sharing experiences, I have the link down below. I'd love to see you guys there. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, so first and foremost, I wanted to tell you a quote that one of my mentors, said in one of her webinars, and it really stuck with me. And what she said was that meals don't happen in isolation. So what you eat on Monday is going to affect how you eat on Friday, and vice versa. And post-competition, while we are reverse dieting, I think it's also really important to keep in mind that we're trying to find balance again. And when you're training for a show, every week is so strict, it's so dedicated, and it has to be like that if we want to do well, right? Because we have to put in every single little effort we can, but post-show, we gotta find a balance. So by being super strict on Monday with your reverse diet, by Friday you might be so worn out, your willpower is down, and you can only white knuckle it for so long. So what I found was that during my reverse diets, the ones that were the most successful was when I instilled these little tools and these strategies that I'm gonna teach you. I'm a little bit of a nerd, so I actually made a slideshow. So we'll start with my slideshow. I don't know if you can see it, but I'll have it. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, you can't really see it. Okay, so if you come into my Facebook group, you'll have access to these slides. So I'll take the slideshow away because it's not gonna work. Oh well. Okay, so first and foremost, the strategy that I'm gonna teach you is an acronym, and the acronym is EAT. So EAT, how do we learn how to eat again? So the E in my acronym stands for enjoy your food. And how do we do this? So there's something that is called the satisfaction factor, and you'll see this concept in many intuitive eating books. And basically what this means, since I don't have my slideshow, I'm gonna draw this for you. So imagine we have a scale, and on one end of the scale is gonna be, okay, so on one end of the scale is gonna be deprivation, right? There, so we're gonna put a 0. And on the other one is gonna be way indulgent. That's gonna be a 10. So would you agree with me, and would you argue that being on either end of these spectrums is not fun? It's not fun when you have way overindulged, right? Say you went on a little bit of a binge, and maybe you had pizza and ice cream and donuts and froyo, and you're just feeling terrible. But it's also not very fun to be here on the other side where you're so strict and you're not letting yourself have anything. And when you hit either extreme, what happens is that the harder you hit here, the harder you're gonna hit over there. So you ping pong back and forth. So with the satisfaction factor, what we're trying to do is we're trying to be somewhere here in the middle. So I call, I was just telling my client about this last night. I call these little indulgent things accessories. So you know how when you're getting ready to go out, you put on an accessory, and sometimes an earring or a necklace or a bracelet really just completes the outfit? Think of adding accessories to your food. So for example, for me, that means that on my salad, I add feta cheese and a really good dressing, not just apple cider vinegar or lemon like I do on prep. So something that's really yummy, that's small, and it just takes the satisfaction factor of my meal all the way up and keeps me in the middle of my indulgent scale. So I'm in the middle, I'm balanced, I'm moderate. So I'm not on either end of the spectrum, but the satisfaction of my meal is a 10 out of 10. The reason why it needs to be satisfying is so that you don't crave more afterwards. That's the whole thing. So you can do this by tracking your macros, eating intuitively. If you are post-show, depending on how far post you are and how you're mentally and emotionally feeling about macros and tracking. That will be your own personal thing to figure out. But so you can do it, you can use this, I can't talk. You can use this strategy doing oh my goodness, okay. You can use this scale or this strategy, tracking macros or eating intuitively, it doesn't matter. The key is to find ways to make your meals enjoyable. You want to enjoy what you're eating while still staying in the middle of your scale there, so you're not going on one end of the spectrum or the other, and keeping it satisfactory. So what accessories can you add to your meals that's going to increase the satisfaction factor? That's how I want you to think about it. So and here's the thing, is that you're gonna have to do this like purposefully. So look at your breakfast now and be like for my breakfast, I'm a creature of habit and I eat it all the time. And it was oatmeal with some almond butter, peanut butter, and like an egg white omelet. That's just what I did. But post show, even though I was so used to that meal and it was satisfactory in the sense that like I'm not hungry, it wasn't completely satisfying, like to the 10th degree. Like I wasn't like, oh, love this breakfast. So I had to figure out ways to make that breakfast better. And what I did was I started adding chicken sausage to it. And that chicken sausage just increased the satisfaction factor. I loved it, looked forward to my breakfast, and I felt so good afterwards. So I would really take a look at all your meals and see how can you increase your satisfaction factor. If you are tracking your macros, another thing that I would do is I would pre-log something that you look forward to every single night. Here's the thing. It's okay if it's a dessert. It's okay if it's Halo Top. It's okay if it's a Lion or like a Mighty Muffin with like Nutella and peanut butter on top. Like nobody here is the food police. And our biggest like thing that we're trying to overcome is maybe you're binging a little bit, but mostly it's just how to find balance again and how to let yourself have these indulgences while still staying under control. So if you're feeling like you want to eat everything, even though you've had a healthy prep and you do macros, actively do this and start putting these like foods that maybe you wouldn't normally have every day, like have them every day, because what that does is it takes away that it like takes away the urgency of it. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so moving on to the A in my, I really wish I had my slideshow. Okay, so moving on to the A. A is abundance. I've talked about this in past YouTube videos, but in abundance, what I mean is by having an abundant mindset. So a lot of times what happens after a competition is that we have food FOMO. So like, you know, fear of missing out, like we have the round food. An example is like maybe you don't even like popcorn, but it's after your competition and you go to the movie theaters and you're like, oh, I must have popcorn, I'm at the theater. That's like FOMO, like getting popcorn because you have a fear of missing out, not because you actually really like it. So we start to develop a little bit of a scarcity mindset around food. I like no macro left behind. Like if I had 5 grams of fat left at the end of the night, I would go eat coconut oil. Like not my proudest moments, but you know, I just had this like really big scarcity mindset around food. I wouldn't let Henrik, my fiance, he was not allowed to touch my food. He was not allowed to have bites. I literally did not share. Like it was such a scarcity mindset. So post show, we really want to get ourselves out of that and get into an abundance mode. That food is not going away. We're always going to have it. It's easily accessible to us. And so different things that you can do are sharing your food. Actively saying, do you want a bite? Maybe you go to dinner with a girlfriend and you share an appetite or share an entree for dinner, because most of the portion sizes are huge anyways. So like putting yourself in situations where you have to share and then seeing that like it's okay. Like food is like not going anywhere. It's like we put it on such a pedestal and that's what gets us to binge over and over again, and it's hard for us to find balance when we're in this mindset. Another thing that you can do is leave a bite of food on your plate. Again, that goes back to the no macros left behind concept. Like literally I would like lick my plate. Like I'm so embarrassed now about it, but you know what? You can probably relate, right? So leave a bite of food on your plate, actively share your food with others. And when you find yourself in a moment of scarcity, like, oh my God, like I need to eat all this today, that's where the meditation practice comes in. Taking a deep breath, remembering, okay, deep breath in, deep breath out. What am I really feeling? Why am I feeling this way? And then what I like to do is I also like to have an affirmation, something that just refocuses you, like a positive. For some people, that's watching YouTube motivational videos. For other people, that's an affirmation that they have, or listening to a podcast, but something that just brings you back to like ground zero, which is your heart. So the last one, T, when I'm having like a brain fart on T for some reason. Oh, okay. T is 3 key habits. So a lot of times when it comes to fitness and nutrition, we feel like we have to do so much in order to make progress, in order to like stay fit and healthy. But in all honesty, you don't have to do everything, because there's going to be certain things that work really well for you that keep you moving in the right direction. That's going to be different from other things. So the T stands for 3 key habits. Now what I want you to do with your 3 key habits is I want you to write down everything that you think you have to do. So I know in competition prep, it's like, drink your water, take your supplements, get your vitamins, like do this, do that, do this, do that. Apple cider vinegar in the morning. Post-competition, yes, it's important that we still keep these routines and these habits, but you don't have to do freaking everything. So I want you to write down everything you think you have to do, and then I want you to pick 3 things from that list that are the easiest for you, they're the most efficient, like it's not hard for you to do it, and that's enjoyable. Because if you don't enjoy doing these things, it's not going to be sustainable for your lifestyle. In post-competition, we're really trying to recreate a new healthy lifestyle for ourselves, because prep is so extreme, and now we're trying to find a new balance. And here's the thing, is that balance doesn't find you. You literally have to go and create it. So like, balance to me is gonna look different from balance to you. Maybe I have to track every single macro down to the gram, and that makes me feel balanced. Maybe for you that's different. Everybody is different. So instead of looking at what like your favorite fitness person is doing on Instagram, get your journal out, start journaling, figure out what feels good to you. Other examples of 3 key habits that you could have is like getting protein in every meal, getting vegetables in every meal, not eating while you're standing up. There's different things that work for us. So you gotta be a detective, and you have to figure out what works best for you. But so when you implement these 3 strategies, so enjoying what you eat, making sure that every meal is satisfactory and that you're not, you know, way too on the indulgent side and way too on the deprivation side, but just right in the middle, and finding the accessories for your meals that work really well for you. Number 2 is having an abundance mindset. So when you feel yourself going off the rockers, or you're having FOMO or scarcity, reminding yourself that there's always more food tomorrow. That was like a big mantra for myself whenever I found myself like wanting to kind of eat more, or kind of go on like a binge was starting. I would tell myself, you can always have more tomorrow. Like, you can always have more tomorrow. If I'm portioning out ice cream for myself and I'm like, ooh, just want a little bit more, and you can always have more tomorrow. And that's gonna strengthen your abundance mindset. And the last one is figuring out what your 3 key habits are. So those 3 strategies are going to help you learn how to eat again post-competition. I promise you that it's a process. It's not something that you figure out how to do in 2 weeks. For some people it takes weeks, some people it takes months. And it's every show you're gonna learn something different about yourself, and you're gonna learn how to tread the waters of post-show a little bit differently. So I hope this video was helpful for you. Again, if you wanna join my Facebook group, love to have you. I'll have the link down in the description box. And what we're gonna do is just take these topics that we're talking about here on YouTube and share our experiences, because the way that I healed and I got better was by actually like talking to people about it, and like talking to my friends on Instagram and being like, hey, like this is what I'm struggling with. And I promise you that there's no judgment. Like, the group is a really safe space, and I just think it's really helpful. My vision is to just create a community where we can have a space to talk about post-competition struggles, because I know that every girl out there has struggled with this. So that's all from me today. I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and I'll see you in the next one.